Chernobyl, 1986. The hours after the explosion, it is 1:23 a.m. The control room is shaking. A deafening blast tears through the silence. Then darkness, not total darkness. A strange blue glow rises into the night sky. No one inside Reactor No. 4 fully understands what just happened. But outside, something far worse has already begun. Because this isn't just an explosion. This is radiation unseen, unstoppable, already spreading. And in the next few hours, an entire city will continue living as if nothing is wrong. Today, we are stepping into one of the most dangerous moments in modern history. With the help of AI reconstruction based on historical records, eyewitness accounts, and scientific data, I've rebuilt what happened in the first hours after the Chernobyl disaster in 1986. Not days later, not after the evacuation, but those critical early hours when confusion ruled decisions failed and people walked unknowingly into deadly exposure. This isn't just about a reactor. It's about a system breaking down. It's about human error, invisible danger, and ordinary people caught in something they couldn't see. So, imagine this. You are standing in the city of Pripyat, just 3 kilometers from the reactor. The night is calm, but the air is already changing. This is Reactor No. 4, a massive RBMK nuclear reactor standing over 70 meters tall. Inside, over 190 tons of uranium fuel are generating power for the Soviet grid. At 1:23 a.m., during a late-night safety test, everything goes wrong. A sudden power surge. Control rods inserted too late. A design flaw no one fully understood. Then 2 explosions. The first blows the 1,000-ton concrete lid off the reactor. The second sends radioactive material high into the atmosphere. Graphite blocks burning at over 700 degrees Celsius are scattered across the roof. The core is exposed completely. But here's the terrifying part. Most operators inside the control room don't believe the reactor has exploded. They think it's a minor accident. Even after seeing graphite on the ground, something that should never be outside the core, they hesitate. Because admitting the truth means admitting the impossible. Within minutes, the alarm spreads. Firefighters are called, but they are not told the truth. This is Lieutenant Vladimir Pravik's team. Young, trained, but completely unprepared for radiation. They arrive within 7 minutes. No protective suits, no radiation meters, no idea what they're walking into. To them, it looks like a normal fire. Burning roof, smoke rising, debris scattered everywhere. So they do what they were trained to do. They climb onto the reactor building, but the debris is not normal. Those black chunks on the ground, that's graphite from the reactor core, highly radioactive. Standing near it for just minutes can deliver a lethal dose. Some firefighters pick it up with their bare hands. Others step on it without realizing. Within 30 minutes, many are already receiving radiation levels of over 6 to 16 sieverts. That's not survivable, but no one tells them to stop. Radiation has no smell, no color, no immediate warning, and that's what makes it so dangerous. As firefighters battle flames, a radioactive plume rises into the sky, carried by the wind, drifting across Belarus, toward Europe. Inside, the plant workers begin to feel it, metallic taste in their mouths, burning sensations on their skin, dizziness. These are early signs of acute radiation exposure. But again, no one connects the dots, because officially, a reactor explosion isn't supposed to be possible. Outside in Pripyat, life continues. It's late. Most people are asleep. Windows are open. Fresh air is flowing in, except it's not fresh anymore. It's radioactive. This is Pripyat, a modern Soviet city built for nuclear workers. Population nearly 50,000 people, average age just 26 years old. It's a young city, a proud city, and at this moment, a completely exposed city. From their balconies, residents can see the glow, a strange, beautiful light above the reactor. Some think it's a fire, others are curious, so they go outside. Children stand on bridges, couples walk through the streets, people gather to watch. Later, this place will be known as the Bridge of Death, because many who stood there that night did not survive long after. Radiation levels in parts of the city reach over 1,000 times normal background levels, but there are no warnings, no sirens, no evacuation, just silence. By early morning, the first victims arrive. Firefighters, plant workers. They are vomiting, weak, disoriented. Doctors suspect chemical poisoning. They have no information about radiation exposure and no protective gear, so they treat patients as usual, touching them, cleaning them, staying close. But radiation isn't contagious in the traditional sense. Still, contaminated clothing and particles spread exposure further. Within hours, medical staff themselves begin to feel symptoms, but they keep working because no one has told them the scale of what happened. Back at the plant, officials scramble to understand the situation. Reports are delayed. Information is incomplete. Communication is controlled. In the Soviet system, bad news doesn't move quickly upward. Admitting failure has consequences. So, instead of immediate action, there is hesitation. Even as radiation levels spike off the charts, even as detectors max out, some instruments can't even measure how high the radiation really is, because they were never designed for this scenario. And while this is happening, the reactor is still burning, releasing radiation continuously. By sunrise, the situation is undeniable. A helicopter flies over the reactor. From above, they see it clearly. The core is gone, exposed, open burning. Radiation levels in the air are extreme. Pilots are exposed within minutes, but they continue flying, because now the scale of disaster is becoming impossible to ignore. In Pripyat, morning begins like any other day. People go to work. Children prepare for school. Buses run, shops open, all under a radioactive cloud. It's the afternoon of April 27th. Loudspeakers across the city turn on. A calm, controlled voice speaks. "Attention, comrades. Due to an accident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, temporary evacuation is required." Temporary, that word matters because it keeps people calm. They are told to bring essentials, documents, some food. They are told they will return in a few days, so they leave everything else behind. Toys on beds, clothes in closets, food on tables. They don't know they will never come back. The evacuation. Over 1,200 buses arrive. An entire city begins to move. Orderly, quiet, controlled, no panic, because people still don't fully understand. Children board buses with their parents. Pets are left behind. Windows are left open. Radiation clings to clothing, to skin, to hair. As the buses drive away, they carry contamination with them, spreading it beyond the city. Within hours, Pripyat becomes a ghost city. Silent, empty, but still dangerous. The aftermath begins. Even after evacuation, the crisis is far from over. The reactor is still exposed, still burning, still releasing radiation. So the Soviet Union launches an enormous response. Helicopters begin dropping sand boron and lead onto the reactor. Hundreds of tons. The goal: smother the fire and absorb radiation. But this creates new problems. The heat below builds. The structure weakens further, and radiation continues to spread. Thousands of workers, later called liquidators, are brought in. Soldiers, engineers, civilians, many with minimal protection. They will spend months containing the disaster, at great personal cost, the human cost. In the first hours, the damage is already done. Firefighters who arrived that night begin to deteriorate rapidly. Severe radiation sickness, skin burns, organ failure, immune systems collapse. Within weeks, many of them will die, and they are only the first because radiation doesn't just kill instantly. It lingers. It damages DNA. It increases cancer risk for years, decades. Across Ukraine, Belarus, and beyond, millions are affected, all from those first hours of exposure, hours when no one knew or no one acted fast enough. What you would see. Now imagine standing there again, but this time you know. You see the glowing reactor not as something beautiful, but as something deadly. You feel the stillness of the air, the absence of warning. You watch people walking, talking, living normally, and you realize they are already inside the disaster. That's what I wanted to show with this AI reconstruction. Not just the explosion, but the confusion, the delay, the invisible threat that turned an entire city into a silent danger zone. Chernobyl was not just a nuclear accident. It was a failure of design, a failure of communication, a failure of timing. But it was also a lesson. Today, nuclear safety systems are far more advanced. Transparency is greater, emergency responses are faster. But the core question remains, what happens when something goes wrong and no one fully understands it in time? Chernobyl changed how we think about risk, about technology, about the cost of delay. Because in those first hours, the difference between action and hesitation was measured in lives. Thank you for watching. If this reconstruction made you see history differently, let me know in the comments what moment or place you want to explore next. Don't forget to like and subscribe because we're bringing the past back to life one moment at a time.